That is earlier. The later card that evening here in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Shakur Stevenson, Oscar Valdez. On the undercard, we have Nico Ali Walsh back in action. Keyshawn Davis back in action. Trying to think if there's any of the other. They do a good job of keeping the prospects busy, but I can't think if there's anyone.
Any other big names?
Abdullah Mason is pretty decent.
There's someone in
just
boxing.
turned pro.
Yeah, he's pretty solid.
Ali made the.
I've seen some writers
made the pay per view.
No, so not pay per view. It's just on ESPN.
I saw some writers say that Abdullah Mason could be one of the best prospects in the whole sport. So.
Yeah, he's a stud. Yeah,
Ohio,
of course.
And everybody's talking about this dude. I still haven't seen him work, but everybody's talking about this dude.
I think I actually saw.
They're not here this weekend, but I was talking to somebody just this weekend, and they're like, "Yeah, you got to see him." I'm like, I heard all about him.
I might be making this up completely, but I saw an interview, Cigar Talk, which is actually really good. You should check that out with Devin Haney. I think he was talking about sparring Abdullah Mason. I think.
No, I saw them spar.
Okay, so I'm not making that up. All right.
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, Abdullah was a baby. He was a teenager.
of course.
Devin's becoming a grown man.
Yeah.
But his speed was impressive.
Yeah, I was connecting some dots. I'm glad they connected.
Yeah.
But we'll get to see Keyshawn as well. I'm in the co-main, and then main event, unification fight.
I'm excited. You guys excited?
Oh yeah.
Zittel, kick it off.
I like basically everybody. I'm picking Shakur Stevenson because he's such an excellent technician. He's so sharp, but I do feel like Valdez has been almost a little disrespected in the lead.
He
up
has
to
by
this fight.
everybody.
And me.
We always appreciate your honesty.
Yeah, of course.
But Valdez is almost a borderline great fighter. Borderline. Pretty good. He was an Olympian just like Shakur was. He's really the champion heading into this fight. It's a unification, but he's the WBC champ. He beat the guy who was considered number one. And so I think ultimately I'll pick Stevenson by decision rather comfortably. I think he'll win maybe 117, 111. But I think Valdez, the guy fought 10 rounds with a broken jaw. His character is tremendous in the ring.
Oh.
I think because of his courage, his relentlessness, he'll keep coming and coming. That in the second half of the fight, maybe round 6, 7, 8, somewhere around there, Shakur's going to get cracked like he's never been cracked before, because Valdez has the skills to do it. He has power and speed. He's explosive, and he's willing to take a shot at some point to stay in range to get his own off. Mm-hmm. And Shawn earlier mentioned, along with the uppercut, he felt the overhand punches are some of the most underutilized in boxing. Valdez knows how to throw those shots. And I could see Shakur making him look silly, making him wing and miss a number of those, but at some point, one of those can get in. Shakur is as great as he is. No one's perfect. Even Floyd Mayweather got hit sometimes. Mm-hmm. So I think I could see Shakur getting hit, him getting hurt, like not like close to being KO'd or anything, but I could see him getting buzzed in this fight, keeping his composure, getting through it, and then finishing off the job and winning a clean decision. That's what I see happening in this fight.
I definitely feel like Valdez had to start body work. He has to get inside, and at the same time, getting inside, be defensively sound. Cut off the ring. When you got him in the corners, go to work. When you got him on the ropes, go to work, but cut off the ring, because Stevenson's going to move all night. He's a more athletic fighter, but Valdez has the power. I feel like that power could help it kind of equal it out a little bit. I still got Stevenson winning it, but got to put some respect on Valdez.
I don't know if Stevenson's going to box all night, because he's really
sit down on him.
He's made it seem. I think he's going to box and be smart as the fight begins, but I think at some point Stevenson has it in his mind. He wants to tear him up. Mm-hmm. He wants to stay in front of him, shoot off, the heavy artillery.
And if he does, that's what Valdez wants.
Right.
He wants you to stay there. So if he does that, we're going to get a hell of a fight.
But I think Stevenson will want to, in his mind, I'm going to weaken him and pick him apart before I do it. So we'll see.
I think he stops him. I think Shakur stops him. Mm-hmm. I think what we saw in the Jamel Herring fight, obviously completely different fighters, but you saw Shakur a little more willing to back him up. Obviously, again, Herring's not Oscar Valdez, but I think this is going to be a huge performance from Shakur. Also, I'm glad you specified Valdez's character in the ring as sterling, because let me get my disclaimer out of there. To watch Oscar Valdez just be so distraught on Blood, Sweat, and Tears by ESPN about, people were criticizing me because I tested positive for a banned substance. It was so hurtful to me. Yeah, but you did. So sorry for people to accuse you of testing positive for a banned substance. You did test positive for a banned substance. No matter how it got in your system, it was in your system.
100%, Carson.
So is what it is. But he did this whole like took a second. He was emotional. I'm like, I get it. Yeah, I'm sure it was tough to hear that, but you know, you had something that you weren't supposed to in your system. So.
Carson, I'm gonna figure out a way to get you on the anti-doping. You a part of the anti-doping.
I'll be on the committee just to
agencies.
shame people, just not anything like technical, but just be like, you should be ashamed of your damn self.
Yeah.
I think, and again, Valdez in his last fight, I don't know if that's why he came out flat, but Robson Conceição was piecing his ass up, carved his face up, and Valdez, you talk about he ran the whole fight. I don't know how your face looked like that, if that was the case.
So he had no Mexican tacos?
I don't know. He wasn't sure if it was tea. He doesn't know what was in his system. But I think Shakur, kind of like what Zittel said, where at some point I think he's going to sit there. I don't think it's going to be a one punch, laid him out. Because again, Valdez, you can say a lot about him, but question his character in the ring, you can't. But I think he overwhelms him. I think the ref at some point just says, yeah, that's too much.
Yeah.
What do you think, SP? Official prediction.
All right, here we go, Shawn.
I mean, I like what everybody said. It's really hard to. Y'all know me. I hate predicting fights and things of that nature. I do think that Shakur's special. Shakur understands without being told just how to move and how to manipulate his opponents. Shawn and I went to watch him spar one day, and I told him that was one of the more special things I've ever seen from a fighter in the boxing ring. He sparred with two different guys, and both of these guys that he sparred with, they had two different ways of boxing, two different styles, two different speeds and tempos, and I mean, the list goes on. Yet somehow, when they got in the ring to spar with Shakur, he instantly made those guys, he pushed the button, and these guys are moving to the beat of his drum. And I say, yo, that's special. You would think that because this guy is moving a little sporadically and things of that nature, that Shakur would step it up and move differently and his speed would change, so on and so forth. I said, it's crazy. He forced that guy to start moving at his tempo. And that's not something you can really say about a lot of guys in boxing. That being said, I can see the same thing happening against Valdez. I think that Valdez is going to want to be aggressive. He's going to want to punching combination, that uppercut, and the hooks, specifically the hooks and the overhand right, but specifically the hooks. He's going to want to try to let those go. And I just got a feeling that he's going to be manipulated. Those things are not going to be there for him. He's not going to feel comfortable and confident throwing them. He's not going to throw them, and he's going to get outpointed. I think that Shakur wins a decision.
So what you got? This got stoppage?
Pretty good.
No,
I'll take Stevenson decision. He's going to look extremely sharp.
He stopped.
Shawn got a stoppage?
No, Shawn said points.
Oh, points?
Points. Stop.
I got Eddie stopping it on the stool.
Okay. Yeah.
I got Eddie stopping it. 9th round stoppage.
Yeah. And again, I think you mentioned earlier maybe discrediting Valdez, and maybe my personal animus towards anti-doping partially does that.
We know you, Carson, and Cubans.
Yeah, fair. Neither of them are Cuban in this instance, but I don't know. He's a great
half Puerto Rican.
Yeah, he's
close.
He's a great fighter. Obviously, he, like Zittel said, the man in the division was Miguel Burchell, and he laid him flat out. So, we'll see what happens.
Stevenson stays patient and breaks him down.
Yeah,
I remember that sparring though that we watched. The thing too, Shawn, is like Shawn, they came out and threw about 30 punches in the first minute or two, and then after that they were handcuffed. Yeah. But he made it look so easy, Shawn. Like he wasn't breaking a sweat.
Yeah. And that was the other part that I found pretty fascinating, was the fact that it was the beginning of camp for him. And I don't expect every guy to have a camp like me. My camps, I basically just built up every camp, and it wasn't. I didn't make it a point to do it. It's just how my camps were. There were a lot of struggles in the beginning. Some struggles in the middle, and then a very strong ending to every single camp that I've had. And to see Shakur, I think this was his first week in Vegas, first week sparring, And I made a point to ask him. I said, "Yo, how long you been?" He said, "No, I just got started." Some guys are made to do what they do. When they figure out what it is that they want to do and what they're made to do, that's Shakur.
Hey, shout out to my wife.
He really is, man.
Shout out to my wife, Sammy. You know what her call was on this fight?
Go ahead.
She says, we see Shakur become a man in this fight. Have that final step from,
Yeah.
This is where
I got Shakur 2 or 3 years, pound for pound.
Yeah,
not that he's not a man already,
Of
but
course,
you get what
I know what you're saying.
figuratively speaking.
I mean, you said it before.
Yeah.
I know Zittel, he was saying Haney, he thinks he could be a top pound for pound guy. Shakur's the one that I think is.
Yeah,
he is
is the guy. You know
years,
me.
he's going to be one of the
I think he
top
beat
pound for
everybody at
pound.
130, 135, and 140.
Yeah, he's going to be special. But I think
It's corny, but I used to call him Short Thing
he
Shakur.
Oh, yeah, he cleans them up, Sean. And if you want to get your ass back out there and clean you up.
I used to say about Shakur, I call him Short Thing Shakur because those
Like the
other
Miguel
guys
song.
that we call the Four Kings, I think they're pretty much short things too, but they're more boom bust potential. Shakur was more like, he's going to be top 10 pound for pound. The question is just, is he going to be in the top 3 to 4? Or is he going to be just in the top
What
10?
division?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, we'll see what he does. But yeah, it's going to be a nice Saturday of boxing.
What's up? I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Ant. Follow me on IG, Ant with 2 T's. Let's do it. Let's do it again.
All right. Just introduce yourself.
Okay.
And then you tell them what to do. I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Anthony Brenagh.
Carson Merk. Like, subscribe, comment.
This is the Porter Way.